Okay, so we are on this question now, question B. Let me make it big. Okay, so on question B, they're saying an HIV and AIDS trial medication has a P success rate of curing HIV and AIDS disease. And then they're saying a clinical trial at Osaka Apex Medical University, led by Professor Taxon Lambert, involving 12 patients, was conducted. Okay, let's look at the questions now. So from this here, we can see that we have P as our success. Then we have N, which is the number of trials, which would be the patients, right? Which is 12. So whatever we are going to do in this question, we have to know the success rate. Yeah, and then if you know the success rate, it will be very easy for us to find the Q, which is just 1 minus what? So we have these two values here, and then we have the. So let's look at the questions now. So the first one here, they're saying find the probability that at least 2 patients will respond positively to the treatment if 25% in the trial in the past recorded positive. Okay. So whenever you have a fixed number of trials and you have a certain percentage of success, we always use the what? The binomial distribution. So this guy here is following a binomial distribution. Okay, so this 25% becomes our P. And then we can find our Q by saying 1 minus 25%. And then we know that the total trials are 12. Okay, the total trials are 12. And then we are finding the probability that at least, so meaning at least 2, meaning 2 or more. Okay, so let's put all this information here. So we have the probability of 25%. So you put it in decimal. So you divide that 25% by 100. You're going to get 0.25. And then we can find our Q, which is the rate of, not the success, so minus 0.25. This is going to give you what? 0.75. Okay. And then from here, we have our N, which is 12. And then we want to find the probability that at least 2, so meaning 2 or what, or more. So this is the probability that we want to find. So remember, we're using the binomial expression here because we've been given a fixed number of trials, which is 12, and the probability of the success. Okay. Okay. So the PDF of the probability function is given by this. So probability of X is equals to, okay, probability of X is equals to the number of trials, okay, and then the success, and then we have no, not the success here, but the probability that you're finding for. And then we have the success here, okay, which will be raised to the X that you have here. And then you have the Q, which will be raised to what? To the N minus what? X. So we are going to be using this formula. So the probability of X being greater than or equal to 2 can also be expressed as this. So X is greater than or equal to 2 is the same as 1 minus the probability, okay, of X being less than what? 2. So whenever you have a greater than here, always change it to a less than. Okay, so how can you change that? You use the complement rule, the one I've used here. Okay, and then we know that we can easily find this probability. So we're going to say this will be equal to 1 minus, what have into my things. Okay, so it will be 1 minus, and then the probability of this guy here will just be the probability of 0 plus the probability of 1. Okay, because we want to find probability that's less than here. Okay, and then we can find this probability of 0 and the probability of 1 using this formula here. Okay, so this will be equals to 1 minus. For the probability of 0, we're going to say 12 combine 0. Okay, and then the rate of success was 25. So we are raising this to the value that is here, so 0. Maybe I should put them in brackets. And then the Q we found to 0.7, right? We are raising it to the power 12 minus 0, which will just be 12. So this is the probability of 0. And then we say plus the probability of 1. The probability of 1 will be 12, 1, and then 0.25, 1, and then 0.75, and then 12 minus 1 to be 11. Okay, so we are saying 1 minus the summation of this. Okay, so this will be equals to 1 minus. Okay, so you get your calculator and then you just punch this. Okay, I'm sure you know how to punch the combination. So you say 12 combine 0 multiplied by 0.25 to the power 0 multiplied by 0.75 to the power 12. And then plus 12 combine 1 multiplied by 0.25 to the power 1 multiplied by 0.75 to the power 11. Okay, so what do I get there? Answer. Okay, so when I punch that, I'm getting this value 0.158388176. Okay, when I punch all this into the calculator. So you just subtract here. So the probability of x being greater than or equal to 2 will just be equals to 1 minus this guy here. Okay, so if I do 1 minus this, I'm getting 0.841. Then it goes like that. Okay, let me end here 6. So I'm getting this as my probability here. Okay, so any questions on how we were able to find that answer? Okay, so from this we can conclude that there is the 0.8416 chance that at least 2 patients will respond positively to the what? To the treatment. Okay, so
I have a question.
Yes, you're free to ask.
Sorry. And one of the things I struggle with is knowing which formula I'm supposed to use in which moment. So I wanted to know, like, the main formula that you used. Looking at the question, what made you conclude that that is the formula?
That is the what?
Like, what made you conclude that the formula you were supposed to use was that one? Because we are probably going to have exercises like this one, but maybe they will write it in a different way. So I want to know, like, how do I know I'm supposed to use that formula? In which situations am I supposed to use that formula?
Okay, so I remember I mentioned it. So you look at what you are given in the question. Okay, so if the question is giving you a fixed number of trial and a probability of success, then definitely that is a binomial distribution. So let me show you in the question. So in the question here, you can see they are saying find the probability that at least 2 patients will respond positively to the treatment if 25% in the trial are positive. So this 25% here is the probability of success, okay? And then when you go back on top here, we are told that this experiment involves 12 patients, okay? So these 12 patients are the number of trials. So your N will be fixed. No matter what probability you'll be finding, you have a fixed number of trials. Here you are getting them, all of them, you are getting them from the 12 patients. And then you also have a probability of success. In this case, on A, we have 25%, okay? So always when you just have P and N somewhere, so this is the probability of success. This is a fixed number of trials. Always, when you are given those two, just know that you're using the binomial distribution.
Okay, thank you so much.
And then if we come across another distribution, I'll also tell you how you can know that this is a distribution. Okay, but this one here definitely is the binomial. Okay, and then B, they're saying the probability that none of the patients will respond positively to the medication is 5%. What is the value of P? So in this case now, you've not been given the probability of success. They want you to find the probability of success. So they've given you the probability that none of the patients respond positively. So remember, we are using the binomial, right? So we've been given the probability of 0 here because they are saying 9. So none. So probability of 0, we've been given 5%. So change it into decimals, it will be 0.05. Okay. And then we know how to find this probability of 0. We have to use the formula 12, 0. And then we have the probability of success that we do not know. Okay, we're going to raise it to 0. And then here we have Q that we do not know again. We're going to raise it to what? To 12. And then we're saying all this should give us 0.05. Okay, but what do we know? We know that the Q can be expressed in terms of the P. So we know that Q is just equals to 1 minus P. We know this, right? So here I'm going to replace this Q with this 1 minus P. So I'm going to have 12 combine 0. Then I have p to the power 0, which is just 1. And then here I'm going to have 1 minus p to the power what? 12. And this is equals to 0.05. So this p to the power 0, any number raised to the power 0, we know it's 1. So we can ignore this. Okay, we can ignore this. Okay, and then any number, if you do any number combine 0, we also know that that will be what? 1. So what we are going to remain with will be what? Okay. Anyway, I think we should have left q here because this will just cause us to do an expansion again. Okay, so any number, if you do combine 0, it's 1, multiplied by p to the power 0 is 1. And then this one here, I think I should just have left it as q. And then 12 is equals to what? 0.05. Okay, so we have q to the power 12, which is equal to what? 0.05. So from here, how can we find the value of q? We know we can introduce log on both sides. Here we can introduce log on both sides, or we can say, let's multiply this power by 1 over 12, and then do the same here. The power that we have here, which is 1 multiplied by 1 over 12. Okay, so what are we going to have? This 12 and this 12 will cancel. We are going to have q is equals to, and then here we are just going to get this 0.05. We'll put it to the power 1 over 12. So you get on your calculator, you punch in. So 0.05 to the power 1 over 12 was, okay. So it's giving me my q to be 0.77907780. It's like this. So if I'm able to find my q, I can now use this formula here to find my p. Okay. So we know that q is equals to what? 1 minus p. But here now we have the value of q, and we want to find the value of p. So how can we find the value of p? Let's take the p to the other side and then the q to the other side. So we are going to say p is equals to 1 minus q. Okay, so p equals to 1 minus the value of q, this one here. So we're going to say 0.7790. We have 77808. So this is what we have. So p will be equals to what? 1 minus this. Okay. So punch this on your calculator. I'm getting approximately 0.221 to 3 decimal places as my value of p. Okay. So we can conclude that my p is 0.221, and then my q is 0.77. We can end at 9, like this. So this is my value of p. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then let's move to the next question, which is on the variance. So I think the variance that the patient will respond positively to the medication is 1.92. What is the probability that the patient will not respond to the medication? Okay, so the probability that the patient will not respond, it means this, in this case, we are finding the what? The Q, because the Q is the probability of failure. Then the P is the probability of success. But for us to find the Q, it means we have first to find the what? The P. Okay, so under binomial distribution, we have special formulas for the variance and for the mean. Okay, so under binomial distribution, we know that the variance, okay, so the variance of the random variable x under binomial distribution, we know that it's given by NPQ. And we know that the Q there, okay, P, and then the Q is just 1 minus Q, minus P, I mean. Okay, so this is what we have. So there we were given the variance as what? We're given the variance as 1.92. And then we know that in this trial, we're just dealing with a fixed, okay, we're dealing with a fixed number of people, which is 12. So our N is 12. And then we have a P, and then 1 minus P. So we're going to come up with a quadratic equation. So I'm going to say P multiplied by 1, I'm going to have 12P. And then P, 12P multiplied by minus P, I'm going to have minus 12P squared is equals to 1.92. So let's take all these to the other side so that this one here has a positive coefficient. So it will be 12P squared minus 12P, and then plus 192 is equals to 0. Okay, so from here you use the quadratic formula. There are no factors that you can use here. There are no factors that you can use. Or if you want, you can even divide this whole thing by 12. Okay, divide this thing by 12, it means you're going to have p squared minus p plus. So this divided by 12, my calculator is giving me is 0.16 is equals to 0. Okay, so you use the quadratic formula here. So your A will be 1, your B will be minus 1, your C will be 0.16. Okay, so we know how to use the quadratic formula, right? Yes. Okay, so I won't show it here because we know how to use the quadratic formula. But when you use the quadratic formula, your final answer should be P is equals to 0.2 or P is equals to what? 0.8. Okay, so we have two values of P. So meaning we also need to have two values of what? Of Q. So Q, we know Q is just what? 1 minus 0.2. If we're using 0.2, or Q will just be equals to 1 minus 0.8. So here it means my Q will be 0.2. Then here my Q will be what? 0.8. Okay, so we find the value of Q. So if my P is 0.8, my Q will be 0.2. If my P is 0.2, my Q will be what? 0.8. So we find the value of Q. Okay,